Hey guys, Insomnia here with some more AFK Arena. Today we are back on the GRAVEBORN faction account. We have 16,000 gems. We are on 25-44. We are one of two teams that are into Chapter 25. We have 1 in 24, which is the Maulers. We have 1 in 26, which is the Lightbearers. Hoping to make a little bit of progression today. Looking at the team, Isabella's still maxed out. Pharrell's still maxed out. Grez, 5 stars, doesn't have a signature item 30, but he is still at 20. Torne, we're hoping to get 5 stars, as well as Nara. This team has more stars than any other team that we have, as you can see. Waiting on a couple more copies of Oden. I believe we need 3 more, and we can actually get them to Ascended. Torne, I would like to build to see if we can replace Grez, as well as we have a lot of food here, as well as Baden and Shamira. So depending who we pick up in our summons today will depend on who we're going to go ahead and build. We do have 2 stones here, which hopefully it's going to be a Graveborn, which is a copy of Grez. Even though he's at 5 stars, that is going to add more fodder that we can go ahead and continue to build on. So let's go ahead and get into the summons. We only have 5 cards here, so out of here we do have 28 scrolls, 183 of our companion points, 16,000 diamonds, and continuing to build our team. Again, just a couple more copies. I believe 1 more Thorin will have him at 5 stars, 2 more Nars will have her at 5 stars. I'm still looking for Shamira and Torne to go ahead and build, as well as Oden. So we're completely full here. We do have another copy of Taylene. Got really lucky pulling her. I believe last time we pulled a copy of her. So I think that only gives us the Elite Plus. Orthos, we've pulled a couple copies. And all of the copies here, Taylene we've been stargazing for, but all of the other copies we have just gotten from the random summons. So let's go ahead. We'll do our companion points first. Hopefully we can get lucky with an Elite here, which unfortunately a couple rare cards. All right, so let's see, 28 scrolls, 16,000 diamonds. We need a couple copies of Oden to go ahead and get him up to Ascended to really see how well he can do. And a double right there, look at that, which it is a copy of Torne and Shamira, double Graveborn for the account, which is absolutely phenomenal. We have a lot of copies of Shamira. Torne, I believe that'll give us enough to be able to build him. That way we can actually try to use him. We do have 1 card on the table. Hopefully we can do 1 or 2 more Elites, or at least a double or triple would be ideal. And there's another one. Hopefully it is a Graveborn. Copy of Thorin. So very, very nice. Let's look at that really quick. So we do have a card on the table, but that'll give us a couple more copies here. And the reason I came here was for Thorin. So he is actually 5 stars. Look at that, fully Ascended. We are working on getting his signature item up to plus 30, but that will change our dynamic of the wish list because we'll actually drop Thorn right out. At this point, we don't have many heroes left. We have 4 or 5-star heroes already. We only have 3 left that can go to the Ascended tier that we don't have. So at this point, I'm going to go with Baden. I know we do have a couple copies of Baden. Nara, if we get another 1 or 2, I believe 2 copies of Nara, we can go ahead and get her to 5 stars, but the Graveborns are being almost completely built at this point. We're going to have to start putting in fodder hero just to accumulate more heroes, essentially. So let's continue. Hopefully we can pull a couple more Graveborns and another Elite right there, which is a copy of Lorzen. Lorzen's a hero I do want to build. Eventually we will on the Wilder account, just like this account. As we continue to 5-star heroes, we will go ahead and continue to build other heroes to replace the ones that we have. So there's a little bit more food. I know Naru, I believe we have a ton of copies of Naru at this point, just out of the summons. And another Elite is a copy of Torne, another copy of Torne. So we should be able to build him at this point. And like I was saying, we do have quite a bit of food. All right, so we do have 1 card on the table as well. Sticking with the Graveborns here. Torne is a hero that I've never used, relatively new, and we got a copy of Baden. Very nice. He's a hero that I haven't had an opportunity to use, so I'm hoping that he is really solid. Haven't heard very much about him. Even in the shop, is we have Thorin already maxed out. We have enough copies of Shamira. So at this point, we're either going to build Wukong or we're going to build Arthur, but I want the red chest. That's what I want to focus on right now because we're able to buy the red chest, 25 right there, to continue to build this team and continue to get plus 30 signature items. Like I said a little earlier, right now we are focused on building Torne. So there's another copy. It's going to bug out again. That's okay, because we do have, let's check out the signature item here, which is still a little bit short. He's already at 27, so he is very, very close to being our next hero with a maxed out signature item. And I believe I'm going to have to restart it because it's going to mess up with the heroes that we have here and throw it off a little bit. So let's go ahead and do a quick restart here. All right, so we got everything restarted. Let's go ahead and do our auto ascends, which now works perfectly like it should. So let's go ahead and look at our Graveborns. So here we do have, as you can see, a lot of copies of Shamira. We have a lot of copies of Baden. Naru, we have a lot of copies as well. But I'm thinking at this point, because essentially we're going to need 4, but we'll go ahead and get Torne up, because we do have another copy to go ahead and take him to Legendary Plus, which is what we want to see. Naru, we need 1 more, so we actually need 1 more food, and we could actually take him to Mythic, unlocking his signature item, and continuing to build him. Not much food down here. Again, we need 1 copy of Nara, a couple more copies of Oden, and we could actually get them up a little bit higher. But at this point, we could use a copy of Baden, just because we know eventually we are going to build him, and Baden is a hero that we can pick up in the shop. So I'm thinking that we might just go ahead and do that, so we can go ahead and get Torne up and see exactly how he was, because we've been sitting on a lot of copies. Let me make sure, but I'm pretty sure Baden we can buy right here, which of course there he is. Looking in here, Grez we already have, Baden we have there, Isabella is already maxed out. So we're going to go ahead and use a copy of Baden, because we'll go ahead and buy a copy of Baden. We're not focused right now on Aziz or Athalia or Flora at this point. But if we get more copies of Baden, which essentially we will, because we know in the Noble Tavern that we are continuing to build heroes there. So we'll go with this little team comp. So even though we do have a copy of Baden, I never recommend using Ascended heroes as fodder, but these accounts are pretty particular just for the fact we are building the heroes that we need to build, and we are building heroes to test heroes as well. So there he is at Mythic. We wanted to see his signature item. That was the reason that I unlocked him. We do have I believe, a lot of resources as well. So 463. Every time Torne forms their Bone Whip, his attack rating is increased by 10%. His defense rating is increased by 20%. This ability can be stacked 6 times, which is absolutely crazy with his skill. So we'll go ahead and level him up to a +10. Which is going to increase his attack rating by 15%, his defense rating by 30% until the battle ends, up to 6 times. So again, he's going to be very, very dependent on using his Bone Whip ability. So he is a scaling hero, which tells you right there. So if he stacks it 6 times, that is going to be an absolute insane amount of damage and defense that he has put up. Especially when his ultimate has an AoE for the whole field. Add some dodge right there. So we should be able to take him all the way to 20, which is going to make him very, very tough to kill. Every time Torne forms a Bone Whip, attack rating increased by 20%. His defense rating is increased by 40% up until the end of battle. His ability can stack 6 times. Then, of course, his final ability, after forming the Bone Whip 3 times, Torne gains 35 life leech points and is immune to crowd control. So very, very cool to see him. Excited to build him. I have never seen him built. I've never even seen him used, actually, between the account. But we have a Mythic. I want to get him up to Mythic Plus, but we do have a +20 signature item on him already, which is awesome. Exactly the same where Oden is sitting. As we continue to push Torne up to the +30 signature item, and then we'll focus on the next hero. So let's go ahead and get into the campaign. Again, we're on 25-44 as we continue our push here. So let's go ahead and get into it. So 25-44, as you remember, but we did forget to go ahead and level up our heroes. So here is 264. Let's go ahead and use all of our hero essence, which I believe will max out probably around 266, maybe 267 we'll be able to push into as we continue our progression into the campaign here. So 266. 267, there we go. We should be able to max out 267, but not enough hero essence for 268. So we are cruising through these levels. We're gaining multiple levels every single week. Plus we got some heroes from the Elder Tree here. Level 36 at this point. Not really anything to level up there. So now we can get into the campaign. So 25-44 Brutus is the one that absolutely destroys this team. So let's go ahead and put Torne in there, which at Mythic he just got absolutely destroyed, as you've seen. Might be able to still get this one down. Looks like we got a couple of heroes pretty low. Got Brutus down, which is perfect for Nara. Just left with Scrag down in the bottom, but we should have this one, and we do. Even though Torne died pretty early there, he did 0 damage, as you can see. So he is a big scaling hero, similar to Grez, that once you get his minions up, or once you get his abilities up, he'll go ahead and raise his defense. So we dropped him in the bottom here. I'm hoping we can get him to live, which there's his Bone Whip. As you can see, he did his heal reduction to the dwarf. And he is staying up in this one, which is very cool to see. There's his triple little Bone Whip, and he does the spikes all over, which he did live that one at Mythic level. Very cool. Quite a bit of damage, 2.2 million there. A lot of healing, a lot of shielding. Remember, he does boost his defense because we have him at a plus 20 signature item, which does boost his attack and boost his defense as well. We did go ahead and put the Chalice on him, as you can see. I think he almost died there, but he is tanking 2 heroes. We did get a Fear. So he is hitting multiple enemies, which is awesome. And even at Mythic, he is just walking around with the Bone Whip and doing a lot of damage. Very cool to see. Like I said before, this is the first time that I have ever seen him, or ever even seen him used. Damage here, 4 million, so he did more than Nara, did more than Thorin. Wow, so that's actually pretty good for a tank. Able to keep him up. But unfortunately at this stage we had to swap Grez back in just because he has ascended at 5 stars. Torne was getting absolutely decimated on this stage. So as long as we can get up some of his minions, as you can see there's his stun, there's the minions up. The heroes automatically turn to kill the minions, as you've seen there, which is a perfect distraction, allowing him to go ahead and do some damage, heal a little bit, and when the minions die, remember Grez does heal as a support class. Well, as a tank with a support class for his healing. Isolde can heal, Grez can heal. There's a couple Graveborns that can heal themselves through some of their abilities or the death of the minions. So very cool to get the stage down, which again, 10 million damage there from Pharrell, which is absolutely crazy. Next boss stage, which is 25-48, dealing with Athalia. Athalia is very difficult to deal with. As you can see, just absolutely destroyed our team right there. Nara did not have a chance. Hoping that we can get Thorin to his plus 30 signature item, because it seems like the Thorin cheese is the way to go for some of these stages, especially when he can go ahead and ult twice. Second time, of course, he does die because we don't have the plus 30 signature item at this point. So as we're continuing to build him, I believe he's at 27, maybe almost to 28. But there we have Pharrell banished. So again, this team is absolutely destroying us with Athalia. Athalia does so much damage, especially if she ults. Very hard to kill. And again, Thorn will go down because we don't have the ability to double ult with his survival. So a lot of these, it seems like if we did have the option to go ahead and ult the second time, we would very easily get these down. Even Nara in the top there, Pharrell got banished again. I think I'm going to swap Pharrell to the top. We're going to try Odin in a couple of these, as well as Torne in a couple of these to see if we can get it to work, if we can get something to go through. But it looks like here we're going to get absolutely destroyed again, as the Thorn cheese is not working very well. He's not taking enough damage for the retaliation to actually kill the enemies, as you can see there. So this stage proving to be very tough. So here on the bottom we put Grez on Grez. I'm thinking we're going to have to swap Nara to pick up Sylvana, but even there we had Athalia knocked down, and then Nara got taken out again. Thorn cheese, which doesn't seem to help, not doing the most damage there. Even with the tanking tree, Thorn goes down relatively easy. And again, there's the big Thorn cheese, but dies again because no plus 30 signature item. All right, so we got a good fear there. Athalia's got a stun, got some spirits on her. Which Nara went down pretty easy again in the top. A lot of minions in the bottom, but Naru is doing a lot of damage as well. And Thorne's back up, even the retaliation again. Not going to have enough to get this stage down. All right, so we're going to have to change up the team comp a little bit, see what we can do with some of these heroes. Yeah, we've tried a lot of different team comps at this point. Ran the same one a couple times. We tried Odin out a couple times. We tried Torne out a couple times. Still not having any luck getting through this stage. We are getting just absolutely decimated, as you can see. Coming right down to Thorin, as he is just getting killed as well. Even though you do have to kill him twice, the retaliation ability not doing enough damage to take down these teams. And even here we do have Grez up, so we do have an opportunity. If we can get Athalia down without her ulting another time, we might have a shot at this one. But it looks like we're going to run out of time, or Athalia's going to kill us just like she did. All right, so let's try Nara on the bottom. At this point, trying to pick up Sylvana. She does get the Taint ability on her as well as the bleed, but she did, again, died super, super fast. And the Thorin Cheese almost got it there. If the retaliation could have done just a little bit more damage, I feel like we would have had that one down. Still have an opportunity because he is charging up again. Nope, unfortunately another defeat. All right, I'm hoping Pharrell can do a good dodge, but even there, Athalia just destroyed Pharrell again. Wow, and Athalia just absolutely dominates. Very, very tough for the GRAVEBORN team to counter Athalia because she's doing so much damage. And again, I really feel like if we could have a double Thorn ult. So that'll conclude it. Let me know in the comments what you think. We tried it about 35 times with a bunch of different team comps. No luck on the stage 25-48, and thank you for watching.